We are recording. What do we got for time?
5:05.
Okay. Check the minutes out for last month, please. Any changes or omissions or additions?
Make a motion to accept the minutes of last month's meeting.
I'll second.
Okay, old business, Gail's not gonna be here tonight. Jackie's on vacation. She said she couldn't make it because of that last month. Repair of the erosion is gonna be on the week of the 19th. He hasn't got a firm date. He called me this morning, and they're gonna basically fill in what eroded away, take up all the old straw fences, and the mats that piled up down at the beach taxiway, and clean it out. And I don't know what they're gonna do with the rock. If they're gonna clean that out or what, but they're going to do something with that, and then I'll put more mats down, more loam, and more grass. And we'll go from there.
Where's the erosion, please, Jim?
On both sides of most of it's between B and C taxiway, which is the first where you get on 3-6, and this next one up by Johnson's Hangar. And it's from there down on the lower half where it gets a steeper bank.
It's adjacent to the runway?
It's parallel to the runway in the middle, between the runway
And the taxiway?
and the taxiway. And
It's out there.
there are some above that on the flatter part, and there's some up in between the C and D taxiway, but not as much.
With all the pipes and whatnot that they put into the ground to control water flow, where'd this erosion stem from?
Well, it's the water running off the runway down into the bottom of the
Yeah, the only
center.
Heavy rain.
The only piping is what's underneath the rock.
The pipes are underneath the taxiway.
Yeah, there's nothing coming down the middle.
No, nothing from pipes or any, well, there's pipes from the two drains on
Right,
by the tie-down area and up by Kevin's hangar
yeah.
that come down through, and then there's another one that comes from, I'm not sure whether it's the one right over here on the other side of the fence that comes over and comes out over here also.
So the rainwater that spills off the runway and
And
disperses to the east, is that basically creating the beginnings of a little pond or something? Or is there a way for it to exit
It exits down by B taxiway.
at the south?
You have to walk down there and take a look at it. It makes perfect sense what they did, but it's just, I think the bankings are a little too steep for what they
Yeah,
want to do.
they should have stoned the whole thing. If you're gonna do a trough like that, you should have stoned it right
Stone,
out. That way there.
FAA didn't even want as much stone as they got there,
Really?
but they, or mass,
How's that, Jim?
he just didn't want it until shark case plane went down into the gully.
It's,
It's considered an obstruction because you can't roll over it, you just collapse it here. Because all they did was sweep it off the last time, and it didn't last. And then they're going to be closed for, they figure, about 1 day, and they did pretty much all of it in 1 day the last time too. So we'll see. There are a couple of places, and you have to really go out there and take a look, because C Taxiway, I think it is, had one of the straw barriers that they had staked in the ground. The stakes weren't even 2 feet long, and one of them went completely through the tunnel and piled it up on the other side, and then there was another one partway through. And we figured that's the reason the water went over, because that was blocking the flow through that drain, that pipe. But neither one of the pipes have got much sand in it at all, because the water was going through there so fast. But out of the 4 they did that, the last time they fixed it was between storms 2 and 3. We had 2 storms after that that did all the damage that they fixed. So they are, like I said, sometime on the week of the 19th, they're supposed to be coming out and let me know. You know, we'll close the airport for one day.
And they are who, please?
Rainmaker,
Rainmaker.
the contractor.
And how is Rainmaker doing with the septic system?
Don't know, haven't heard anything. It's between him and Beckner. So I don't know what they're doing down there. I haven't heard anything, let's put it that way. I don't.
That septic system down this way is functional, we think?
Yeah, according to Beckner it is.
It takes care of his bathroom.
His hand, yeah. But I guess Dominic mentioned that we ran out of water a couple of times last month, in the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
But that was gonna be, but it filled right back up again with the rainstorm. On the master plan, they wanted us to look at this and decide, do you feel that the SRE building would be better off maybe between Kevin's or the,
I was thinking right about here, you know, part of this tie down we got over here that we don't use, could take part of that. And just put the SRE building, when you come in, the big city plows down here. Then all you do is walk through the pedestrian gate, go over to the building, raise the door, run and plow.
What's the nickname for this little shack here, out this new thing? What's that called?
that's the electrical one?
That's for all.
There's no acronym to go with that, it's just
Nothing that I know.
electrical building. Huh?
Electrical building.
So,
Okay.
it looks like they, last week in the discussions we were talking about, or at the last time, that the SRE building was only gonna be 1,600 square feet.
Yeah, I just think,
That sounds small,
it is small.
so,
Let's see, my hangar is ballpark that.
Yeah, that's too small. Need twice that at least,
Like-
if not 3 times.
40 by 43 or something.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Supposedly.
I don't know, here again, the patent answer that seems to come, Gail says, well, this is what the FAA says approved. But I've seen bigger ones and I've seen smaller ones. I haven't looked at the last one they built that I know of was down in Chatham.
Yeah.
And I haven't looked at that one yet. And the Sanford.
And this SRE building's purpose is to store equipment, like
Snow
plows.
removal equipment.
Yeah.
And lawn mowing and stuff like that. I want it to be my original idea was make it big enough so it's like a hangar almost. When you can put radiant heat in it, and then if the plane needs to frost, you just
So, what do you got to put in, all these lovely big trucks and plows need to go in there, right? And maybe the John Deere
Right.
tractor.
The John Deere tractor is down in the new hangar.
Yeah, but that should all be up here.
Yeah, and the zero turns down there.
It should all be,
The three that we need to put in a hangar, that we got stuck in this hangar, should be in the SRE building.
yeah, but I think all of it should be in the same building, or there should be a repair bay that would work.
And
All that stuff. But it should be inside.
is this SRE building on the schedule of the project?
It's one of the projects that we've been trying for
I've been
10
talking
years
about
plus,
30 years now.
30
So
years.
my hangar cost, it's about 40 by 40 by, it's pretty well made, and it's at least 10 years old, and it cost, including the big fucking door, 80 grand, roughly speaking.
Well,
So- So-
six hangars down there that we just built,
There's a minimum.
it was a 1.2 million.
Well, I'm just pointing out that, depending on whether, if the government's involved.
And they thought it was gonna be 300,000.
What, the SRE?
No,
No,
the hangar down there.
It was supposed to be 300, and it came in at $1 million?
1.2?
Something like that.
Available wages.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
But what,
Well, Gale Engineering is this year too.
yeah, and he said that, so, at any rate, so on the SRE building, you wanna, it's gotta be bigger.
Bigger and relocated.
You want it closer to this spot right here?
Yes, because, like I said, the city plows here, so you have to just walk through a pedestrian gate over to the hangar, get in the equipment, out you go. Otherwise, put it down where you're saying by my old hangar. You gotta, just walk at the time we had snow, walking from the gate over here down to the old hangar where we got it stuff, you could run out of breath.
Currently, the SRE is planned for a position down there.
Well, that's what they proposed on that
Yeah.
chapter 6 there.
Hey, I'd like to point out that this is me being a difficult human being, but we're actually having a conversation and I'm hearing communication instead of just listening to this drone of noise coming from that cute
Well,
little
we can
chick.
have these conversations at any time.
It's
But
amazing.
if there's more than 4 of us, if there are 4 people or more, I have to post it, record it.
I know,
and
I'm
do
just
minutes
saying.
for it.
Yeah.
But this is what we're doing tonight, we're recording it, and we're
God,
posting it, and we're all ready to go. So, would you want it
I agree that it should be up here in the corner.
so that it doesn't block any view out of the building here, up the
Absolutely.
airport to the end of the runway or
You
the...
don't want to
Right,
block the view.
right,
Yeah.
Absolutely, right.
Well, we got drainage over in the corner that we gotta be careful
Yeah.
of too. But I think they could,
It depends how big the building is. I mean, if it's gonna go back to where the drainage pit is over here, it's only got 40 feet, you're gonna be, you won't be blocking the view, because you'll still be able to see.
right, but I think that at least the front half of this building should be able to see up to the
Up to,
You
the
betcha.
runway.
You betcha.
And same with the,
Why not put it in the field on the other side of the fence?
that's why I say, let's, yeah.
We're gonna put a solar.
Any of these are a good idea.
No, over there.
Of course, my old saying was, if you wanna get some real income in here, you gotta get somebody to get any along the runway. But what are the chances we're gonna get any along the runway?
not in our lifetime.
I mean, if we can get into Phil's will, so that we get his property and Pokey's, we might have enough to put a cross runway in. And that would suit our needs wonderfully. But, it enables a bigger aircraft to come in, and you get possibly somebody that come in and be a maintenance shop that would survive. But anyhow, on the SRE building, I'll put it, in this corner, so to speak, or on this side here.
Even the retention pit, you never see any water in the retention pit over here.
No, it goes down, it doesn't, and the drain is quite a bit above that,
Yeah.
yeah. But, yeah, I haven't seen it, and it's soft as hell. I mowed that with the,
Zero turn?
no,
Or did you
with
put
the
gang mower?
gag mower, but I attacked it at a different angle.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see, what else we got here. Part of their proposal was 2 more T-hangers, 2-sided, identical to what's down there, added on to the other end.
So right now you've got 5 Ts down that way?
6.
6 down there, and you're talking about another 6 maybe, attached to the southern end?
12.
So,
We've got enough room.
a total of 18
All the way down.
T-hangers, with access both from the east and the west?
Yes. Only this one I would like to put a little steeper roof on.
And does that come
And have a
before,
little overhang.
does that come before or after the SRE building?
Depends on what we can talk them into pushing.
Who we talking into?
FAA.
FAA.
And it's lower priority than it is getting additional income for airports.
So the SRE takes a back seat to the hangar idea?
Always.
Yeah, I thought we were on schedule, last time I looked at the master plan, we're 2028.
Could be, and I'm still pushing for it. The only thing they wanted to do with the tie-down area was, they were gonna reduce the number of tie-downs, but they have to do that to accommodate a greater wingspan. Not, the pavement's the same size, but they gotta replace
They can
the,
eliminate one on each end if they get on.
but they've gotta spread out the tie-downs a little bit more. to accommodate a greater wingspan. So it was basically gonna be the same thing. But some of the singles now, what's ties is what, 38, 39? On the surface, like 39. I think it was greater wingspan.
Oh,
Anyhow.
right.
Yeah. And there's some out there that have got over 40. Okay. And we had just show a general layout. I labeled these in the order we got them, that's number 4. The designated area across there is, I think it's 100 feet maybe from the center line of the runway or the edge of the runway.
Usually off the center line.
Okay.
Oh,
And they wanted, that was gonna be all, solar panels was what they were talking for. I don't know if that's gonna fly, because the last I knew, Duncan wasn't accepting any solar electricity.
try to keep it in at this is the temperature.
But, there's the last big push that they're putting on for it.
Who's talking about the solar? I mean,
Who's
Mayor.
pushing that?
The mayor.
Oh, the mayor. Okay, Jim,
And-
does he want them east or west of the runway?
West.
West, on the hill.
So that's a slope and it's got good exposure to the east, but when the sun is far to the west and setting, you're not going to be picking up any energy with a slope like that.
It depends on how you place the panels.
and who's gonna fit the bill for that?
Solar panel, so.
Say.
I mean, I don't think we've got 3-phase down here.
I'm just,
No, they would have to run in all new poles from,
Oh, yeah.
from Route 2A.
but,
I thought they had 3-phase down here. There's a couple, last year, Tim Hess, was in Ventnor's, was thinking about selling his hangar, and he was gonna sell it to Tim Hess. And one of the things Tim Hess asked was there 3-phase down here. And I guess there was 3-phase down here.
yeah, well, there would be if there, because all the, old lights were 220. And I don't know if that was.
That ain't three-phase.
It was single phase.
So,
That was single
It'd be
phase.
408 or 480.
Yeah, but they had to have the higher phases because there was so much distance. I mean, you're looking at,
I could be wrong, but that's.
something like that.
So,
Maybe,
Jim,
I don't know.
who's interested in three-phase power?
Yeah, that's what I was
Tim
told.
Hess.
Whoever that is.
He's an engineering builder for planes in Fitchburg.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he ain't doing it anymore. I mean, he's still doing it in Fitchburg, he can sign up and do it up here.
But, we've got still a fairly sizable area that's considered wetlands over there. But word had it last year, they were talking about it, and they're rewriting some of the regs. And wetlands have to have a flow in and a flow out. I think all the time. If it's a vernal brook or something like that, they're not gonna consider that wetlands.
Yeah,
And
that's what's over there.
that's what's over there, which means fill it in,
Yeah.
and we'd be all right. And there's one over there down on this end, and then up on this end, there's a little piece on that end, according to this map. But, they were also talking about putting a fence on that side where the trees are, right at the tree line or just somewhere along in there. That's why I was asking about the 100 feet from the center line.
Oh,
And they want to extend down around the airport. There is a plan somewhere, I saw it.
I see it marked up or something.
Marked up here. That's where I saw it.
And this is all for that solar array?
No,
That's for the fence.
this is for the fence around the airport.
And why is that on the list of desired items?
The mayor's pushing for solar panels on Templeton property.
Right.
Well, this is all Templeton property.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
it's Gardner's property, but it's in Templeton.
yeah.
So they want the fence over here to the west somewhere?
No, right where your finger is down next to the runway. Go down, right there.
There.
That blue, that black line.
100 feet away from the center?
Basically, I think, from the center of the runway.
And the purpose for the fence is what?
To enclose and secure the airport.
From bears, maybe.
Well, it'll cut down on the volume. I don't know if it'll actually cut them down, but
Four wheels cut through here all the time too.
yeah.
Over
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was for a game and people walking on the runway. People walk around the end over here too by your hand. All the time, path one and around. I saw somebody out in the corner, way up in there. I don't know what they were doing here last week.
Somebody that goes out there all the time, I don't know what they do.
Yeah. I've had a couple people ask me about all the junk out in the woods out there too.
There's junk out there.
Oh, yeah, a couple of vehicles and pipes, cement pipes, we've got enough cement pipes, there's a few out there.
There used to be a junkyard over here, like out behind my.
Yeah. But at any rate, that, they wanted to complete the fence all the way around to this end. And I think it's following the property line, but I don't know.
And again, who are they that want this?
FAA will apply for grants to get paid for by.
Now, did they lower the fence at the end of the runway that they needed and it's passed the
Yeah, it's all done.
nose test?
Depends on who you ask. And we're waiting for the
FAA.
inspection. We have to wait for the inspection to clear it up.
You didn't notice it when you came up?
I noticed it, but I'm wondering if it passed the test.
No.
I personally don't think so.
It's not low enough?
They didn't lower it where they wanted to lower it, where it was supposed to be lowered, is my
So
opinion.
somebody wasn't following instructions and
We don't know. I just know what I heard from
Should have gone a little bit more west.
Silver, what's his name, at Mass. But we'll see.
when's the test supposed to be scheduled?
Haven't heard, some of it's been submitted for the navigational part of it. And I haven't heard when that's gonna happen. There's a small group of trees off the right-hand side down here, I wanna cut down. And then the ones out on the overrun area at the left-hand east side, there's a bunch too I wanna cut. And then there's, up here on the west side of it's right at the corner of the fence where the overrun is. Right in that area is a cluster of birch trees that probably by the end of this year will be tall enough to be in it a little bit.
You can't rip them all.
Yeah, they've been moved, cut several times. I wanted to show you the picture off the end of the runway. Let's see here. I'm standing on the center line, right here. They lowered the fence here. But if you follow the center line out,
Yeah,
is the fence.
yeah.
But it starts going up at the center
Well, it's
And that's what I was thought.
It's way over here where the end of the wall is. They came off the corner here and went down. And then they went over to the corner of the wall and came back up and joined it. And it's, my opinion, it's not what
Yeah, I thought.
not the point of what they did.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to
Sound
be
on the runway.
We got north.
Wire.
This is north,
I
this
thought
is
that was a
18
little while.
Yeah,
numbers, and this is the center line. And
that's too high, huh?
when I heard Owen talking about Silva at State, he says that this fence should be below or at the
Foundation
wall.
of the, yeah, okay.
And I thought the wall originally was gonna be one more block higher, because they could have gone flat without doing this at the end. But, who am I? I'm not an engineer. Anyhow, I pointed that out to him. So that may be something that has to be added.
So who's complaining about the fence as it is now?
If they
Owen, no, MassDOT.
match
He was-
up,
Yeah, Mass DOT, which is Owen Silva.
It's viewed as a hazard?
Yeah, because if a plane goes off the end of the runway,
Yeah.
it would catch its wheels or whatever on the fence. I said, we already had a plane go off the end of the runway, cleared it fine, and ended up in the trees, but not quite as far as the corner. So,
and when was that?
not 5 years ago.
Was that
was
you?
at Columbia.
No.
But the corner of the wall is, the corner of the wall is right here. And this is the center line again, but that's where it is over in this corner. You can see where the corner of the wall is over on that side. And there is the other corner of the wall is over here, and they thought it was gonna be 100 feet. They claimed they put 100 feet in from the corner out. I got pictures. That's what I did.
DOT wants a fence,
Yeah,
or a modification to the fence.
well, they wanted it moved. And so, when we get the inspection, when everything's complete, that's what we're gonna do. Those will come to light. So we have to wait. But in the plan, they recommended that all of that area be designated non-aeronautical, which can lend to putting other businesses in there. But I think we should keep it as aeronautical.
I agree with that.
I'd rather fill it with hangars.
Once you lose it, you can't get it back.
Well, that's for sure. There's one particular airport that is overbuilt like that. I'm trying to remember what it is.
Well, Sanford has done a wonderful job. They've got provisions now for another 20 hangars up there. And they're T hangars, and I think they're building them themselves. And that would be the maximum effort that we could get, if we could do it. But, and then Kevin has been, he asked me about contractors. They would do commercial, he wants to do, and he's gonna put half a roof on the annex, and he wants to put siding on it, make it look better.
I'm gonna make a comment. I've flown into this Hopedale Airport, which is, it's called the Hopedale Industrial Park. The runway is just like Gardner, it runs
Yeah.
north to south.
I've been there once.
And the goddamn thing has got these industrial buildings on the west side and on the east side. It's almost like you're landing
In a canyon.
in a canyon, and I find it extremely unappetizing in comparison to this lovely undeveloped green space. And I
The
wouldn't
problem
think-
is undeveloped green space doesn't earn any money.
Yeah, I know, but the Hopedale Airport sucks in comparison to this place right here, even though it's about the same size for that reason.
Yeah,
And it's congested and not a pretty thing.
I think that one of the things that I wish they would allow, and they did it in North Adams when they bought an existing building and moved it on site for a airport administration building. The building is absolutely gorgeous inside. The manager out there is a friend of mine, and they bought it for a fraction of what it cost to make it, the building. It was adjacent to the property, so they didn't have to move it too far. But they jacked it up, moved it, put it on a new slab, and they're golden. And it's beautiful inside. I mean, he has really fixed the place up.
What's its purpose? What's it for?
Administration building.
This?
Yeah, but it was really, really a well-done job. Inside was a doctor's office, and they got a deal on it. And so Kevin's building's on here is to talking about making that administration and snow removal equipment.
That would be great.
That would be great. Is it for sale?
Yeah, a lot of money though, but I don't think it's as much as it would be to build it.
I don't think it's worth as much as he thinks.
Well, it's not a bad building, but he's never, I was talking to him last week, he says, yeah, there's still some from Tom Close being in there. Electric motors, and he never threw anything out either. But,
Maybe once about $1 million for
really? But,
That place?
it. Yeah, but it goes with 13 other acres and 20 acres.
no, there's 13 acres on the off the end, or is it 13 or 9? 13, I think it is, off the end.
What, across the road and into the woods or something?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
goes down, takes part of Snake Pond
Yeah.
and that whole area. And then the last thing that they had was designated area for future hangar development, which is from the tie-down area to the fence, all the way down.
Yep, I agree with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna bore you guys, so summing it up, we've got an SRE building that people are talking about, we've got a doubling, a tripling of the hangar space off to the south, we're talking about a fence to the west, we're talking about the fence problem at the far end.
That's
That's the
current.
DOT.
That's current right now, and that's gonna be fixed. That's not part of this.
So among all these things that you've just put in front of us and we've sort of discussed, are we supposed to make a decision about what's number one, what's number two? Is that what we're supposed to be doing?
We can,
Or are we just supposed to be aware of, where does the decision-making come from?
comes from us,
From us, huh?
and we can put them in that. I would personally think that the only question I have is down the other end, if we triple the size of that hangar, are we gonna run into problems trying to plow it?
You might run into problems trying to fill it up.
Never.
No? Okay, that's good.
Not even remotely possible.
So that's a money-generating proposition.
Correct. But the concern is, we got a snowball, but we can't blow it towards the runway, because we would put it on the taxiway. Other side, we can blow it fine.
You're blowing into the gully.
On the west side of this new assortment of hangars, these 12 XPT hangars, you could not blow it, just plow the stuff off to the edge of the asphalt. That would be sufficient, would it not?
Yeah.
But then in the event of a storm, we could build up more. But
Well-
then you could take the loader and you could and keep piling it higher, or taking it, fill it.
You don't have to use the blower, is what I'm saying.
Well, maybe not, I don't know. It's global warming, we might not have any rain.
Move it.
Yep.
It's not well.
But that would be my number one.
Yeah.
And here again, I don't know about the solar panels. I've heard several people say that the mayor killed it the last time when it came up. I've heard other people say, well, Templeton didn't want to buy the electricity. I've heard, I don't know what the right answer
If
is.
you build the SRE building, it's gonna be a lower price tag, I'm guessing, than
But it has a,
And if you do that, you're gonna free up a couple of existing hangars for more rental, because the equipment could be moved out of those T hangars where it doesn't fit anyway.
I wouldn't use those T hangers for rentals, because it's on the north side. And the one thing that has is plenty of ice in the winter. I mean, if it's a summertime rental only, fine. But those two hangars over there are trouble.
I think an SRE building would be a nice addition to this shooting match.
Well, let me put it this way too, the other thing that's the reason I say this hanger's down the other end, we have a chance, like 80% chance that we can get them built. The SRE building might be 30%.
And this is the whims and the inclinations of the FAA, is that what you're talking about when you say that?
Yeah.
How about one set of hangars, 6 more hangars down at the far end and then an SRE building, 1-2 punch or something?
All possibilities.
I wouldn't worry about renting these hangars, we did for years.
You
Just
just
like
find the right customer.
where it snows, the biggest thing is you plow the snow, and you just careful when you go down there. The guy's been renting those places for years.
Okay. But I would,
A lot of people don't even fly in winter, they probably just park it in there and forget about it. But you still get rent on it.
Is the mayor interested in the solar?
I mean, you're north facing side when you build your hangar, so,
Yeah,
you know,
and then you plow that, and you're fine, you still open the doors and everything, so. Sometimes it gets a little slippery, but.
So my question is the mayor talking about a solar field, a solar array, because it provides him with some way of justifying the bare existence of this runway that, only a dozen people use?
it'll offset some of the expense for the airport.
It also gives them a lot of SRECs and tax write-offs and all kinds of other cool things.
Did I hear this right? We generate income from the solar panels, that they're gonna cut the budget,
Probably. Well, they won't cut the budget, they just won't have to
give us as much.
as much. We get the
So the
money.
budget's gonna stay the same, solar panel, less money.
But I think there's a way to increase the budget, too.
So there's a lot of empty land in Gardner and this greater area. They're even talking about a racetrack, as you all know, here. in Gardner.
That's
Yeah,
it.
shut down.
Why the hell do they need to put a solar array here? What's that all about?
Because it's city owned and available.
Well,
The city don't wanna give us any more money.
if someone loses control of the
We can
airplane
use
and
it.
landing,
If
if
you-
you have to, on top of
You know,
everything else,
I mean,
collide with solar panels, that's not gonna be a plus.
I'm not worried about that anywhere near as much as I don't know if it's got a chance even of getting done.
What's gonna do more damage, trees or solar panels?
Solar panels,
Yeah. Yeah,
light you off.
And trees don't?
no. The old saying was, the question that was always asked by the FAA at safety seminars. If you had a choice between landing in a pond or on the trees, where would you land? You had to land. Going down, your engine failed, and you had the choice between water and trees, where would you go?
Trees.
Yeah, trees.
Trees.
Small trees, the leaves,
Tops of the trees.
tops of the trees,
Yeah.
especially if they're short.
Just be careful when you open the door, loosen your seatbelt. You may have a big step to get to the ground,
Oh, yeah.
but that's the general consensus.
Huh.
And it's survivable, the plane a lot of times isn't even told.
And if it's nighttime, you turn the landing light on, if you don't like what you see, shut
Shut
it
it
off.
off.
That's
They wait till morning?
But, so if we, let's get back here and put numbers on this so that we can. And I don't know, I can't remember the stuff that was, I was gonna look up the report and scan it again, because I forgot what I was talking about. I think the taxiway probably the tie-down area is probably gonna be the next thing that gets done, because we had the runway project done, so I think,
That's pretty simple and straightforward.
yeah, I think it's, repave it, get rid of the grass thrown in it.
They don't need
Um,
much.
Are they gonna revise that somewhat if we tell them that we want the SRE building on?
Well, that would be the other thing we would ask at the time. But we could have that face west and come out and have it adjacent with a ramp
Hmm.
so that it wouldn't take any of them. So there's a way around it,
Yeah.
just make it a little deeper. The hangar's probably number 2. That sound right?
Yep.
SRE building number 3.
2.5.
2.5 or 3. I would say number, it's just what we want to look at them at.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying 3. The fencing,
At the far end,
that could, no, this fence around the rest, close the rest of the airport.
The last possible thing.
that's
Yeah.
the last.
Number 10.
If we have a list of 10, make it 12.
Yeah.
Wasn't the
solar
fence
panels?
being, wasn't the fence being paid for by Mass Aeronautics?
Yeah, or, yeah,
Yeah.
it may only be a 2.5% too.
The fence is to keep all the illegal immigrants coming across the Texas border from entering into the airport,
Gardner,
right?
Well, when we did this fencing, they didn't want to spend the money to do the whole airport,
Right,
because they said we didn't need it. Now they're saying we need it.
well,
When they did the fencing, we didn't pay anything for that.
where do you want the solar panels to go?
They pay for everything.
You wanna make that number 4? Because since I building was number 3.
You know, they paid for the blower, they paid for the trucks, but they're not giving us money for the building to take care of it.
Right.
So,
Well, that's already 3.
The SRE building would give this sort of a professional demeanor to the whole place, to
The-
the extent that it doesn't have one now, you know?
Well, usually they bury them someplace where they don't wanna put airplanes. But, the land across there, you wanna leave that aeronautical?
Absolutely.
Everything aeronautical as possible.
well, that was part of the land that was donated by Rod Beck,
Is it?
yeah, for the purpose of the airport.
Yeah.
And isn't it to some degree, Jim, a safety issue in respects to you lose your engine, your altitude's not great enough, you can't make a turn around,
Right.
but maybe you could make it to that little grass strip and save your ass?
Yeah. And then how about Kevin's building? To try and buy it.
Number 5.
And they'll put an airplane down in that grass pond there.
I'd buy that Kevin's building and breathe on it before I'd want to put a solar array in. That's my opinion.
I agree with that. Let's put it before the solar.
Well, I have it as, what was number 2? Number 1 was the tie down areas, number 2 is the additional hangars, number 3 is the SRE, number 4 is the
Purchasing Kevin's.
solar. So you wanna put that in?
Yeah.
I just made that comment.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
So,
What's the chance that we can put Kevin's as first?
Why?
Because then we have a whole building to do everything that's already there. That would be the SRE, that would be the administration building, that'd be everything. And this building could go down and we could put hangars here. Or open this up to more, just to be a hangar.
how about the additional hangar side of it, from the tie down area to the fence? You wanna consider that or no?
We're at 6.
Enlarge the tie-down area, and when we do that, we're
Between
hitting.
the tie down area and the fence, there's vacant ground.
We had a,
So,
when they decided to do the hangars down here, is because I mentioned, because they had me go up there with a loader during winter, and they would take some measurements and stuff. And the biggest thing is that's such a slope. They would have to build up the land to keep the hangar level. That's why they moved it down there. So, putting hangers up here would be really tricky.
Well, then let's put it that lower on the list of things to do.
Well, right now it's at the end, so
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
you wanna leave it that way? Cause I'd rather put the hangers over.
Instead
The
of down there,
only problem putting across there, you can't cross the access rod.
Move the road.
You'd have to move the road. You'd have to bring it on the backside of the hangar, and move everything to the
Or you could put a gate and close the road when you're going.
up further. Right, and like over by Kevin's, well, when they were doing the fence, I thought that's what they were gonna do, put, a gate up here, but they decided, nope, this is where we're putting it.
Yeah,
That would have released all that.
that's why they did it real quick.
Yeah,
The other thing I would wanna put into this mess, and see if I could get them to add it, would be water and sewer.
That would be really nice.
repeat that, Jim, please.
Water
water
and
and
sewer.
sewer.
Water.
The question is, where it becomes hairy is it Templeton or is it Gardner?
Well, the water and sewer goes where? At Snake Pond, it ends there.
It ends right like, yeah, Chuck Friend's little house.
Snake
Yeah.
Pond
Chuck's
Road.
house.
That's the
Okay,
last.
so
Snake
last-
Pond Road, I
last
think.
hydrant.
At the intersection of the Snake Pond Road is, because it's before that house. But,
Is this sewage? I'm gonna check this. I know we got water, but like I said, by Chuck's house. I don't know how far the sewage goes.
I think it's Snake,
You go that
Snake
far?
Pond Road and, where Snake Pond Road joins Airport Road. I think that's where
That's the
because there's a hydrant right there
Yeah,
by the pole.
yeah,
And that's where this water and sewer is, because the well at the end of Snake Pond Road
yeah.
has to send its sewage from the filter to the treatment plant. But that's all in Gardner.
Yeah.
But that would be my only other thing, because that would attract
The business.
a little bit of
Both.
weather. Exactly. And it would make a huge difference in if a business wanted to start, especially a restaurant or a manufacturing facility of some kind, or, repair facility.
Right, if we had sewage and water here, that would be, definitely worth, our property worth more.
Yeah.
But the FAA or any of the other systems won't have anything to do with that. That would be between Templeton and the town of Gardner, correct?
Yeah,
Here it comes, the water and sewage. I think that when they were talking about the SRE building, they built it there, right? They were gonna put in the artesian well.
So-
And I would imagine, because they wanted to have men's and women's,
Right, but then it would
so
have.
they had to
Septic
septic.
system.
Well, it's 3 now.
Oh, it's three. Him, her, and Kevin.
Yeah, 3, yeah.
So Jim, is this the master plan update that we've been kicking around?
yes.
Yes. Want me to call Jackie?
Don't threaten him with it.
She is.
After a certain volume and intensity, my brain just stops working.
Okay, moving on then. Or anything more you want to discuss about that master plan?
Nope.
Okay. I have no report from Isabel. She
Yeah.
called me at 2 o'clock and said, no, she's not coming. And she's on Rhode Island, I guess, or something. I haven't gotten any figures about the guard system. She hasn't given me anything for that. Or the budget review.
There's no budget, no money.
Yeah, well, the only thing I had for the budget was what they gave me from City Hall. And I haven't updated it at all. So,
We gotta start doing that.
what's that?
Get a soda machine, vending machines, that we have.
There is ice cream in the hangar from
last year.
Dakota.
That was Dakota.
Yeah, he and, they've been doing something in their hangar for the last month, 2 months, while he's waiting for his airplane to be fixed, and they've been doing something in there, so they filled that up with ice cream, and there's some water in there and everything, so. He said, free for the taking,
Dominic used to do that.
yeah. The other thing is, on the new business, I've got Boston Soaring Club called me.
Who?
Boston Soaring Club.
Sorry?
They wanna move up here right around the 31st, I think it is, or the 1st of September, for 10 days to 2 weeks with their settlements. And they did that last year for 2 weeks, roughly, and we're happy, I guess, so they wanna come back.
Park their craft out there on the tie down kind of thing?
Yep, and there's a couple of them that are gonna store their, they don't need hangar space because they take the wings off and put them in a trailer. They just wanna park the trailers there, so they don't have to truck them back and forth.
Yep.
And it's fine.
Those are the guys out of Sterling?
Yeah.
Sterling.
And do they need a donation to do this, or we're just doing it?
I don't know, but Isabel did with them last year. She handled most of it then, but I got the call, I forwarded the message to her last week, when I got the call. So, other than that,
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
anything else you guys?
Yeah, are we gonna keep these meetings at 5 o'clock?
What do you wanna do, guys?
I just went 6:30.
Yeah. So we usually, 6 or 6:30.
I prefer, the earlier the better, you know, then after the meeting I get to go home versus hanging around at work till 6 or 6:30. But whatever.
It's up to you guys.
I have no problem with 5 o'clock.
Huh?
I have no problem with 5 o'clock, 5:30, 6, whatever, but.
How about 5:30 as a compromise?
What do you think, Andy?
I like early, but
Sometimes I won't be able to make it.
Yeah.
Fine.
You wanna make 5:30?
5:30.
No, we did,
Agree with that.
yeah.
Or we could just try different times and see which is on too, and we can always change it.
I'm easily confused, so.
Read your emails, text messages, that's why I need the right numbers and names and
If the,
addresses for emails and,
200 you get a day.
Yeah, no shit.
what?
Email is a disaster for some reason.
it hasn't been a problem in the past because sometimes we need to meet for a couple months.
Yeah, that's true.
I think one year they only had 2 meetings.
Yeah.
Right.
I know, for as long as I've been here, all the meetings were always at 6:30. And then when Sue started taking over down at City Hall, she didn't want to have to wait till 6:30. So that's why we started at 5, so we never said it. But she's been long gone.
Yeah, for 2 years,
Yeah,
and,
made a mess and left.
yeah. Okay, next meeting is Wednesday,
September 4th?
4th, Labor Day week, at 5:30.
9/4. 24. 5:30.
So.
Yep.
That majority of the people say that?
Yep.
Okay. And what time do you get?
6 o'clock.
We are adjourned.
Okay. Good meeting. Actually, I was able to pay attention and hear what was being asked and discussed.